Please, Peter. Don't leave me here. My voice trembled as I reached for my son's sleeve. He didn't turn. He just stared at the floor like a man carrying someone else's guilt. Behind him, his wife Denise tapped her foot impatiently. The automatic doors of the nursing home opened, letting in a rush of cold air, the kind that doesn't just chill your skin. It cuts through your heart. "Mom, you'll be fine here," Peter said, his tone too calm, too practiced. "Fine?" I whispered. "You're leaving me in a place full of strangers, Peter." He sighed, glanced at Denise, then looked back at me with that fake patience I'd seen too many times. "You need care, Mom. You fell last month. You forget your pills." I forget my pills because you took them away from the kitchen cabinet." I snapped. The nurse at the counter looked up, startled. I lowered my voice. "Peter, please, let's talk about this at home." Denise stepped closer, her perfume sharp and expensive. "There's no home, Margaret. Not for you alone. It's too dangerous." I looked from her to my son, the same boy who once ran barefoot through sprinklers in our yard, now standing there, a stranger in his own mother's life. "Mom," he said softly, "you'll thank us later." And then he placed my suitcase by the reception desk and walked away. The doors closed behind him with a soft hiss. That sound still echoes in my ears. The sound of a door closing on everything I ever loved. My name is Margaret Reynolds. I'm 68 years old, and until a year ago, I thought I'd done everything right. I raised 2 children, Peter and Anna, mostly by myself after my husband, Tom, passed away. We weren't rich, but we built a good life. Tom ran a small construction business, and I handled the books. When he got sick, I was there every day, through every treatment, every long night. And when he was gone, I promised myself I'd keep our family together. I didn't know then that the family I protected all my life would be the one to lock me away. It started small. "Mom, you shouldn't live alone anymore." Then it became, "Mom, you're forgetting things." And finally, "Mom, it's for your own good." Peter and his wife, Denise, had moved into my house temporarily after Tom's death. Denise didn't like me much. She always said I made Peter feel guilty for not being around. One morning, Peter asked me to get dressed. He said, "Mom, we're taking you somewhere nice. You'll have friends your age there." I smiled, trusting him. "My son." When we arrived, I saw the sign, Sunset Pines Retirement Facility. I laughed nervously. "Peter, what are we doing here?" He didn't answer. Instead, he lifted my suitcase from the trunk. "Mum, you'll be safe here," he said softly. I froze. "What do you mean, here?" Denise smiled, too sweetly. "It's for the best, Margaret. You'll love it here." And just like that, they walked away. I watched through the glass doors as my son, my own son, left me standing in that sterile white lobby, clutching my handbag like a lost child. The days blended into each other. The staff was kind, but I wasn't one of them. I saw women older than me, forgotten by their children, staring at walls that never spoke back. At night, I'd sit by the window and whisper to Tom's picture, "Can you believe what they've done, Tom? They've locked me away like I'm already gone." Every week, Peter and Denise would visit. They'd bring flowers, take pictures, smile for their friends. "Look how well we take care of Mom." Then they'd leave, always checking their watches, always in a hurry. But one afternoon, something changed. A nurse named Evelyn sat beside me and said, "You know, Margaret, you remind me of the woman who used to own this place." "Own?" I laughed bitterly. "Well, she must have been crazy." Evelyn chuckled. "Maybe. But she built something beautiful here before her husband passed." Something inside me jolted. Tom had owned a few properties, small investments. I had handled the papers after he died. but never checked all of them closely. Could it be? That night, I couldn't sleep. When the halls were quiet, I went to the old office wing, the one staff barely used. Inside a dusty cabinet, I found a stack of old property files. And there it was, our family's name, Reynolds Construction and Investments, one of the listed properties. Sunset Pines Retirement Facility. My hands shook as I flipped through the pages. The deed had my husband's signature. Tom had bought the land 25 years ago and never sold it, which meant this nursing home was still legally ours. I didn't confront Peter immediately. Instead, I called our old lawyer, Mr. Whitman, an old friend of Tom's. He confirmed it. The title had never transferred. Technically, the facility was still part of my estate. And since Peter had helped with my finances, he'd overlooked this one little detail. So, I waited, patiently. When Peter came for his next visit, he brought paperwork. "Mum, if you just sign this, we'll manage your assets for you. It's easier this way." I smiled for the first time in weeks. "Oh, of course, darling," I said sweetly. "But first, you might want to read what's already mine." I handed him the deed. His face turned white. Denise stammered, "That can't be right." I stood, straightening my cardigan. "Oh, it's very right," I said. "You put me in this place, Peter. You thought you were done with me. But you forgot who built your world for you." Within weeks, my lawyer processed the paperwork, transferring full operational control of Sunset Pines to me. The staff was shocked. The new director? Me. And the first policy I changed. Visiting hours. From 24/7 to by invitation only. When Peter and Denise showed up that Sunday, smiling for their weekly visit, they found a notice on the gate. Private property. Visits by appointment only. Approved by Margaret Reynolds. Peter tried to call me. I didn't answer. He tried to email. I blocked him. For the first time in years, my silence was louder than his excuses. I didn't yell. I didn't fight. I simply lived with grace. I turned the facility into a community home for women like me, those forgotten by their families but still full of life. We had book clubs, movie nights, and laughter echoing through halls that once smelled like loneliness. The local paper did a story on us. Elderly widow turns nursing home into a sanctuary for forgotten mothers. When Peter saw it, he came running back, tears in his eyes. "Mum, I'm sorry." I didn't mean to. I looked at him quietly. "I know, Peter. You meant it to be easy." "For you," he cried, asked to visit again. I smiled gently. "You can visit when you understand what family really means." And I walked away, leaving him standing where he'd once left me. In that same lobby, small and silent. Now, when I sit in my office overlooking the garden, I sometimes whisper to Tom again. Greater than, "You be proud of me, love." I didn't just survive. I took my life back. The sun sets over Sunset Pines. Golden light pouring through the windows. I sip my tea, surrounded by women laughing and talking. And for the first time in years, I feel home. Because sometimes the sweetest revenge is simply living well on your own terms.